We're out here harvesting grapes for our friends. We don't actually use these grapes ourselves, but we have this grapevine to help with the sound coming from the road going to the deck. I'm gonna keep harvesting these grapes and we'll see you in the garden. We're gonna harvest some more vegetables from the garden.
Put some stuff down.
You wanna do the spaghetti squash?
Yeah, okay.
We planted these spaghetti squash seeds in June. We made 3 piles in this last bed, and the squash were the first things to actually be planted in this bed. And then we planted the nasturtiums and the corn. Yeah, we ended up having to reseed the corn. Not all of them, but some of them I had to fill in. But that's it. That's what's going on in this bed right here.
And these have somewhat started to cure and harden on the vine because we just left them. As you can see, the rest of the plant is now dying or dead. But they have to sit for a little while in a cool, dark place to finish hardening off so you can store them for winter. They get like a nice shell on the outside.
I think there's one more hiding in the weeds. No need for people to see my rear end, so I'm gonna go do it. I forgot. We also grew delicata squash, and we only had one grow. We didn't even see this squash until it was almost half the size because it was hiding underneath the leaves from the spaghetti squash. I think we're gonna harvest the pumpkins, but we have a couple things we need to get ready to be able to do that. The wheelbarrow right now is still full of sand from our carrot experiment, and these pumpkins are huge, so we are gonna need the wheelbarrow to get them. This one's not quite ready yet, but that one is. Okay, speak. Speak about our pumpkins.
These are our pumpkins!
Yes, they are! They're pumpkins, and we are so proud of them. Okay, let's do this.
That's a beauty pumpkin.
These are Connecticut field pumpkins. They're only supposed to be 10 to 12 inches big. I would say this one's bigger than that, and this one is the smallest one. Friends of ours are gonna carve out the inside and we're gonna put them on our heads. It's gonna be so fun.
Perfect jack-o'-lantern pumpkins.
Jack-o'-lanterns for my head. Just a little bit of history on this pumpkin patch. We collected grass clippings from our yard and we poured them here for a summer. And then the following summer, I put down a bag of black earth and I put in 5 Connecticut field pumpkin seeds, and then I lined this bed with 7 rows of sunflowers. And other than watering this bed about 4 times the entire summer, we have not done a thing to it. And it gives us this kind of abundance. It's absolutely amazing. So first off, we are not kidding about putting these on our heads. We're going to do that. But also the ones that we don't put on our heads, we're going to turn into a pumpkin puree. And I add that to anything like any sauce that we're making or any casserole that we're making. It adds a really nice filler. Plus, it's really, really good for Mr. Murphy.
Even since yesterday, this one's starting to orange up a little bit. And this one has oranged up a lot. And then there's one more over here. We were calling it the hanging pumpkin because it was hung up in the sunflowers, but it's dropped now and it's got about double the size in a couple of days. So we'll leave all this stuff and see what happens. One more to harvest on the other end.
Up next, tomatoes. These tomatoes right here are called San Rosano tomatoes. These are the family that people, if they want to label something, would be called paste tomatoes because they don't have as much seeds in the middle as some of the other tomatoes. Roma is also a tomato just like this. But what I find is here, I don't get as much disease with the San Rosano tomatoes as I did when I grew Romas. Let's get to harvesting. At this point, we are only taking all of the ones that are orange, leaving the ones that are green to still ripen. But if it's too much longer, we'll pull those green ones and we'll let them ripen in the house. We've harvested about 100 pounds of tomatoes from the garden, and we've preserved them and froze them as we go. And also for tomato sandwiches, we love tomato sandwiches.
We've got a couple in here buried in with the rest of our menagerie of tomatoes and volunteer stuff. And I found a handful of sun golds. Bonus.
Give me one.
Those ones are really ripe. They're delicious. Garden candy. So this tomato bed at this point is spent. Almost everything on it is ripe. There's a few greens, but nothing we're going to get anything big out of. And these are mostly our slicers that are left. So I'm going to harvest the rest of these slicers. I'm actually probably going to remove some of these plants. They're just getting old and diseased and they're dying. So out with the old.
Okay, so far we collected this many tomatoes off of just what Bill had just done off the long tomato bed. And now we're going to start taking off this one. There are some huge tomatoes on this plant. I can't wait.
That's a big Greitmeyer's. We got it just in time too. It looks like it just cracked. So we'll be able to fresh eat that one. Pink icicle. Great paste tomato. And prolific. It was probably our biggest producer in our worst tomato year last year. That's an Abe Lincoln. I think that's just about our last one. I think there might be one more on the other side that's we'll probably leave for a bit. I think this is a Paul Robson. They have a beautiful color on the inside. They get a nice star on the inside when you cut them, and they're tasty. This one is a Scotia. This is our first year growing them. They're large, they're orange, and they're delicious. They've done fairly well. We've had a few of the plants with small fruit and a few of them with these whoppers. So all around good tomato. This is one of our beefsteaks.
DVB.
DVBs, yeah. An anomaly, fully ripe on one side and just beginning on the other. Greitmeyer surprise.
That's very strange.
Very strange.
It's like ripe though.
It's perfectly ripe on that one side.
I would keep it. I think it's a keeper.
We'll eat that side. Be a perfect one for you if a recipe if you needed green and red tomatoes. And here we have another contender for largest tomato of the year. We've determined it's an old German, which is the previous record holder.
So let's see if this one breaks the record.
That is a big tomato.
Let's go into better light. I don't know. I don't think it's 2 pounds.
No. What was the other one? 1.7?
1.71?
We'll leave the stem on when we weigh it.
Look at all of this abundance that our garden gave us. Not saying it wasn't any work because It's a
It
lot of
is a
work.
lot of work.
It's a lot of work to
Yeah.
take care of the garden.
Yeah, we got a lot more tomatoes. I don't know what we're gonna do with tomatoes.
We
We've
do know.
we've already got 100 pounds out of the garden ish. So we canned it. We made sauce. We made salsa.
We made
Um,
a chili base sauce.
yeah, chili base sauce.
We froze a bunch of the San Marzanos, and we're going to use those to make tomato base,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
So that we can take that tomato base, and we could, if we're doing pizza night, we can add pizza seasonings. If we're doing pasta night, we can add oregano. Is that oregano? The gardening season is coming to a close. We have the grow room, so we're going to be excited to start that in probably about February.
So another great harvest. I can't wait. We still have to harden off the squash and the pumpkin a bit. All right. Will it beat this year's record? Let's find out.
We have our kitchen scale here. Oh, it's actually smaller
Actually smaller, yeah.
than the one last time. So this one is 1.58. Still going to be delicious though.
I'm still impressed with the big old German. I think I'll call it Dennis.
Thanks so much for watching.
See you guys next time.
Woo!
Good job.
I knew it was important to get those grapes today. Look at that guy. He's like, thank you very much. Just one. You see him?
Yeah. Small.
He's just small, yeah.